Hail, happy heathens! Strangers, travelers, kinsmen, and friends, welcome. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Valhalla Runestones, the web series brought to you by Hammer and Hearth. Today I am actually providing you the video I promised to upload yesterday. Sadly, due to some varying technical difficulties, I was not able to record this video yesterday. But here we are today, Friday, what is today? February 17th. And as promised, we're going to revisit a point that I've already done one previous video on, which was who can be an Odinist. I'm going to do part 2. Over the past 8 months since I posted that video originally, I have had a number of people comment on both sides of the spectrum. Some people have called me communist, Marxist, accused me of appropriating the faith for non-whites to be able to damage the cultural identity. Others have informed me that Odinism is not a chosen spiritual path, but rather a cultural identity faith. And I'm going to point my opinion to disagree with those thoughts. As I've said before, this is entirely opinion. You know what they say about opinions. Everyone's got one, and they all usually smell. There's a fuller version of that statement, but it's a little more than a PG-13 rating would allow me to present. So, let's dive right in. So I'm going to start with a brief overview of the three main stances on the opinion. On one end of the spectrum, you have those who identify as Folkish heathens, or Folkish Odinist, Folkish Asher, whatever. They consider themselves Folkish. The first time I heard the phrase Folkish, I thought we were talking about getting back to the folk roots of the faith and whatnot. I was wrong, to an extent, I guess. Folkish heathens are those who very adamantly believe that Odinism is a faith strictly for white Europeans. Some people extend that to descendants of white Europeans, limit their definition of white Europeans to only those of Germanic descent. Others open that view up just a little bit further and allow any white Europeans, Polish, Slavs, even so far as to Franks and Hispanics, Latinos. But point remains, as far as they're concerned, if you're not European descent, European or European descent, you cannot be an Odinist. And you are simply trying to appropriate the faith for your own nefarious purposes to wipe out, eradicate any white cultural identity. Again, I say those are the extremists in the Folkish. There are less extreme viewpoints even within the Folkish community, but if I were to put a broad stamp on what is Folkish or Folkism within the heathen community, there you have it. Now let's swing the pendulum in the complete opposite direction of the Folkish heathens, and we'll talk about the Universalist heathens. As a Universalist heathen, the theory is this is a chosen spiritual path. Absolutely anyone from anywhere, anytime, any place, doesn't matter if you're African descent, Australian descent, Mayan descent, doesn't matter. You want to be a heathen? Welcome to the club. No questions asked. Here you go. There's your membership card. Welcome, Skull. If we allow the pendulum to kind of settle in the center, I found a new term. And these folks, kind of in the middle and varying ends of the spectrum between Folkish and Universalist, are Tribalists. Here's where Hammer and Hearth lies in the spectrum. And I'll grant you, we swing a little further to the Universalist side than the Folkish side, simply because my wife is an anthropologist, and anthropology majors, don't get them started, will inform you that race is simply a social construct, and go from there. Whole different story, not the focus of this particular video. Talk to her about that, or any other anthropologist that you might know. That being said, what is a tribalist? Tribalists, from what I've seen so far and what I'm running with, take the stance, generally, anyone can be, but not without going through some questions first. Why do you want to be an Odinist? Is there anything in your genealogy that would suggest a tie to this faith? Because, and here's why. Odinism is a faith that one of its key components is ancestor reverence, honoring, depending on which hearth you follow in with, which kindred you meet up with, bordering even on ancestor worship. All fine, well, and good. But there's not a single one of your ancestors that ever followed this faith. Do some serious self-searching. Are you going to piss off your ancestors by following something that goes against them? It would be pointless. It would be counterproductive for you to follow such a faith that is about honoring the ancestors if this is going to be a dishonor to your ancestors. So here's the deal. Went a little crazy recording this video. 30 minutes. Some of you might be okay with watching all 30 minutes all at once. Good on you. Others might just want a little 10-minute section. So here's the end of part 2.1 of Who Can Be an Odinist. I'm going to get 2.2 loaded up here in just a few moments. But until then, please like, subscribe, post your questions, comments, or concerns down below. And until next time, I'm Keeper Odinson. May the gods smile favorably upon you and yours, Skull.